Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today we are doing a double poof Christmas wreath using 10-inch deco mesh, and we are going to do a step-by-step tutorial. Let's get started. For today's wreath, I'm starting out with this 14-inch metal wreath form from the Dollar Tree, 18 pipe cleaners, and now the deco mesh. The deco mesh, the ribbon, everything I have on here, I will list in the description box and where I got everything. Today we're doing the double poof method, and for this method, I like to use 2 rolls of 10-inch deco mesh. And this is the method where we're going to go in the spiral going from inside, going towards the outside, and we'll go through how we're going to do that later. But right now I want to talk about the deco mesh. I like to use 2 rolls of 10-inch deco mesh with very contrasting colors, and your deco mesh should be about 5 yards long. For the background deco mesh, I like using just any deco mesh I have on hand. This one has very fine netting on it. It really doesn't matter. It's going to give you that red background. The deco mesh that's going to be on top of the red is this gorgeous golden one that I got at BB Crafts, and look how it's weaved. It has this space in between. I actually choose this deco mesh on purpose for this type of wreath because it's going to show the background color. Together, it's going to be gorgeous. Now let's go through the ribbon that we're going to use. I'm going to start with this Dollar Tree ribbon. I'm going to grab a few rolls, and it's a nice and thick ribbon, but it does not have wire on the edging, and it's red, green, and this ivory kind of gold. And it's going to look beautiful with the deco mesh that we're going to be using. Next, I'm going to grab a gold ribbon. This one is 1.5 inches wide. The last ribbon I'm going to use is this beautiful 1.5 inch ribbon that has little cardinals on it, and it has all the colors that I need. It has red that will work well with this beautiful ribbon and with our deco mesh, and then it has gold designed all over it, which is going to bring everything together. Now let's get started on the wreath. If you've never done this, this is one of the easiest things you can do. And I actually was intimidated by this when I first started making wreath, because it's just, you look at this big old ring and it has all these pipe cleaners coming off of everywhere. And you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put our first pipe cleaner right there on rows 1 and 2. And since this wreath has 6 sections, we're going to just put one in each section on row 1 and 2. As you can see, when I'm putting these pipe cleaners on, I give it 2 good twists, and then I actually fold them down and towards the inside of the wreath form. This is just going to be easier to grab them as we're working along. We are done with this first row, and we have 6 in this row, and now we're going to grab 2 per section, and we're just going to go towards both sides, the left and right of the center one that we have in each section. And so we're just going to have 2 per section, and we're going to put them on rows 3 and 4. This is what each section is going to look like. 1 pipe cleaner on row 1 and 2, and 2 pipe cleaners on both sides of that on rows 3 and 4. So you're going to have 3 pipe cleaners per section. Multiply that by 6 sections, and you're going to have 18 pipe cleaners. Let's prepare our deco mesh. I'm starting with the red one, and I'm just unrolling it. And then this gold one is going to go right on top. I unrolled my deco mesh just like it's going because I want the poofs to be natural. And I'm just going to go in about 1.5 inches to 2 inches and gather my tail. Before I attach it to my wreath form, I'm going to just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach it to the first pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to make 10-inch loops. The loops are going to go from one to the next on the inner row until my first row is all complete, and we're back where we started. We're going to attach it on top right here, and then in order to go to the second row, we are going to jump to the next section and grab this first pipe cleaner in the next section. Then I'm going to continue making my 10-inch loops going all the way around. When attaching it, keep in mind that this is going to be kind of bulky, so I like to kind of just squish it down right here and give it 2 good twists. I know that my deco mesh is nice and secured, but I'm going to grab a little zip tie and going about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from where my pipe cleaner is right here, zip tie it. First of all, it's going to just give it a little extra security, knowing that my beginning, and I'm also going to do this at the end, is nice and secure. And the second thing this zip tie is going to do is straighten out this little tail. Now we're ready to make our poofs. As I said, our poofs are going to be 10 inches, and my 10-inch is right here, this light square on my board. So I'm going to grab the beginning of my pipe cleaner, measure my 10 inches, and we're going to just attach it to the next section. Same thing, measure out our 10 inches and grab our next pipe cleaner. When I'm making wreaths, I want this to be fun and I want this to be easy. And this is why everything that I do, I try to make it as least complicated as possible, but we're going to get that professional look at the end of the day. I went all the way around and my last poof is going right where we started, right here by this first loop. And now I'm going to measure my 10 inches once again, and we are going to jump to this outside row, and not in the section that we're in. We're going to jump to the next section. And then here on out, we're just going to be doing 10-inch loops going from one pipe cleaner to the next. And that is another reason why I like these sticking out, because I just grab the next one and keep on going right along. I went all the way around, completed my last loop, and I did not go back to this first one that I started because I felt like it was full enough. As far as the tail, I cut it off about 2 inches from my last pipe cleaner, and with my zip tie about 1 inch from the pipe cleaner, I just zip tied it all together. And this is going to get hidden after we poof everything out. Plus, don't forget, we're still going to have ribbon all over. I did want to show you how elegant this deco mesh is, and I love the fact that you can see that background, or I call it the base deco mesh underneath. Now I'm just going to open up my bubbles, just making sure everything's kind of nice, and I'm going to do this going all the way around on this inner row and the outer row. Now it's time to cut our Dollar Tree ribbon, and I usually like to cut this one no more than 11 inches because it doesn't have the wire, so anywhere from 10 to 11 is okay. So I'm going to be cutting mine into 11-inch strips. Next, I have the gold ribbon. This is the 1.5-inch ribbon, and I'm going to measure it out at 12 inches. Now I'm going to grab the next 1.5-inch ribbon, and this one's with the Cardinals, and same thing. I'm going to cut it into 12-inch strips. All my ribbon is cut up, and I have 18 of the gold, 18 of the one with the Cardinal, and 36 of the 2.5-inch one from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to just go ahead and cut dovetails on all the ribbon endings. Now it's time to take this wreath to another level by making our little bundles. So I'm going to take 2 of the Dollar Tree ribbons and just crisscross them. Then I'm going to grab the gold one, put that on top, and then the one with the little Cardinal. I want the prettiest ones to be on top because I want that to show real nicely. And then I'm just going to bring it all together. Grab one of my pipe cleaners and give it 2 good twists. And we have our ribbon on. For the center, I decided to do an ornament, and I can either do this larger one, and these come in a pack of 12 from the Dollar Tree, or the smaller one that come in a pack of 16. And so I can either have this or that. I think this one looks a lot better than the tiny one. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your ornament is on this little plastic part nicely. If it's not, then just give it a dot of hot glue. Then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. I'm going to put one going from one side. The other pipe cleaner is going to come up to the opposite side, and I'm just going to pull it just like that. And then I'm going to take my pipe cleaners to the back of the wreath and tie them in the back. And now I'm just going to do the same thing, repeat that same process. 2 ribbons from the Dollar Tree, then my little gold one, and then my Cardinal. Bring it all together, squeeze it in, and put it on the next pipe cleaner. And then I'm going to grab a matte ornament, because this one was glittery. These ornaments are sold where they're glittery matte, glitter matte. So that's how I'm going to put them on my wreath. I'm going to go around the outside and do matte, glittery, and same thing on the inside. So I'm just going to continue doing this, going all around our wreath until all 18 pipe cleaners are filled with ornaments and ribbon. I'm done putting on my bundles. Look how gorgeous this is. I know it looks a little messy, but now I'm just going to sit back and just make sure that all the bundles are nicely laid out on the wreath. This is so much fun. I absolutely love this part. Now that the bundles are on, we are just going to pretty this wreath up. And my wreath is pretty much done. Look how beautiful and full this wreath is. At this point, you can definitely be done with your wreath. It is so full. Look at this. There's just no space even in the center. It is beautiful. It is full. But I found a little Santa picture that I really wanted to use, and the little holly matches the holly on the ribbon right here. It's going to cover some of these bundles, some of these ornaments, but I don't even mind because I think this just gives another dimension to this wreath. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this ribbon right here. Grab 2 pipe cleaners, fold them in half, and I'm going to make a little flat surface on both ends, and then just grab 2 pieces of ribbon. I grabbed the Cardinal ribbon I already had on hand, some hot glue, put my pipe cleaner on there, more hot glue, and I'm generous with my hot glue. Then our ribbon, and this is what's really going to seal it in, is that ribbon being on top of there. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. And now I'm ready to attach it to my wreath. I'm going to straighten out the wreath one more time and make sure some of the ribbon kind of covers the edges right here, especially the hole on top, and just straighten it out. And now we're ready to hang our wreath.